Hello friends, welcome to Stampin' Country. This is Robin Fite. Today we're going to make this utterly adorable, utterly smooth shadow box gift box. I stamped my little cow with the Over the Moon stamp set. Isn't she adorable? And then I stamped my barn door with, believe it or not, the barn door stamp set. Then I made a little belly band that slips over the shadow box to reveal the utterly smooth hand cream, which I found locally, but you can find online. We're going to start with a piece of 10 inch by 12 inch real red cardstock, and we're going to use our Simply Scored scoring tool. We're going to score 4 lines on all 4 sides. We'll start with ½ inch. So ½ inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 1/4 inches, and 3 1/2 inches. You'll notice it's narrow, wide, narrow, wide. That's to accommodate the utterly smooth. I'll explain that a little more later. So we'll go 90 degrees and we'll score at ½ inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 1/4 inches, and 3 1/2 inches. I'll have all these measurements on my blog. You can find the link in the description. So we'll go ½ inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 1/4 inches, and 3 1/2 inches. One more time, rotate 90 degrees, ½ inch, 1 3/4 inches, 2 1/4 inches, and 3 1/2 inches. Easy so far, right? Okay, so the narrow wide, again, I explained because it's the utterly smooth hand cream has a very wide tip on the end, and I wanted it to be deep enough to hold it, but I wanted it to fit snug. This is what your box is going to look like after it's cut and scored. First thing we're going to do is cut the tabs. So you're going to go your innermost score line. I'm holding this paper the longwise. I'll show you here in a minute. And then you're going to cut the line next to it. You're going to cut both those lines up to the 4th score line. And then we're going to cut off the corner. You won't need these corners. This is extra. And then the innermost score line up to the 4th score line. This is just making the tabs, and then the line next to it. Cut off the corner. Now we're going to do the opposite end. We're going to do the same thing. The innermost score line up to the 4th score line. The line next to it up to the 4th score line. Cut off the corner. And the last one. Same exact thing. Innermost line up to the 4th line. The line next to it up to the 4th line. And cut off the corner. We're going to shorten these tabs. They're just way too long. You could just throw out these pieces. You won't use them again, and they have a lot of scoring on them. So to make the tabs shorter, we're just going to trim them at the 1st score line. We'll do that on all 4 tabs. Okay, now here's a little trick that you can use for any box you make, whether it's a shadow box or any other kind of box. You can just toss those. You want to cut little wedges off the tabs. If you don't do this, your box will be bulky, it won't fold right. So they're just little slivers or little wedges that you're going to cut off of each tab. You're going to do that on all four. This little trick will save you a lot of frustration. Do the same thing on the other two tabs. Okay, now we're going to cut our diagonals. So we're actually going to need our scoring tool once again. And we're going to score in a 1/2 inch. This is going to be on the wider side. We could have done this when we were scoring, but to avoid confusion, I'm going to do it now. So line that up. We're going to come in a 1/2 inch, so we're going to score at 4 inches. And you're only going to go down to the second score line. And then we're going to score at 8 inches and go down to the second score line. Flip that over. You're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we'll come in a 1/2 inch and score at 4 inches and 8 inches. This is going to give us our little mark to make our diagonal cuts, which is probably the trickiest part of the box. Flip it over, it's just a little bit easier to do. And you're going to cut from the edge of your tab to the tip of your scored line at a diagonal, sort of kitty corner. And then you don't need that excess there, so you can cut that off along the score line. Yay! First one. We're going to do the same exact thing on all four corners, from the tab to the tip of the score line. Cut the rest of the score line off. From the tab to the tip of the score line and cut the rest off. And our final cut from the tab to the tip of the score line and remove the rest of it. That wasn't so hard, was it? Now we're going to go ahead and just fold everything. You can toss those little pieces. So we'll fold everything. Just makes it easier to put together, see the lines, and get it ready to assemble. I'm going to use a bone folder for good crisp edges. You want to score or fold every single line. And then we're going to place adhesive. I'm going to use tear and tape. It's strong. I like to use it for 3D projects. We're going to put it at the end of all four sides, or on that slender piece of all four sides. And then we're going to put it on our tabs. I like to put a couple pieces on so it's good and strong. All right, so you can see tabs, sides. Now these little diagonals, we're going to, actually on the opposite side, so the inner side, we're going to put a little bit of adhesive here too. It just neatens everything up. It gives you something to press down so that those diagonals are firm. And then you can take your Take-A-Pick tool and remove all the paper from your adhesive. Now we're ready to fold. Are you ready for this? Okay, so to start with, we're going to bring the tab in to form the corner of the box. And we'll bring the tab in to form the corner of the box. Okay, these just sort of roll over and tuck into place. It's going to form one edge of the shadow box. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite end. We'll bring the tabs in to form the corner of the box. Roll it over. A little tricky to hold everything in place at this point. Now we're almost done. You guessed it. This is so easy. Okay, so we're going to roll over the wide ends. That'll tuck in. And you'll notice you can neaten up these corners, and that's why I put that adhesive on the inner side so that those are firmly adhered. And again, we're going to roll it, tuck it in, and then firm up that outside diagonal. So simple, and your box is ready for your utterly smooth hand cream. Let's make the belly band. Oops. Okay, we'll go ahead and do the cows. Okay, we're going to stamp with the Over the Moon stamp set. And we're going to use Tuxedo Black ink. We'll stamp our cow. I stamped the one with the udder. We're going to use the light basic black Stampin' Blend, and we'll color the hooves. I'm using the nub tip or the narrow tip to color the hooves and the tip of the tail, the nostrils, and the tuft of hair on the top. And then we'll color our spots. This is really a simple, easy project to color. I'm going to use the wider tip to get this bigger spot, or the brush tip. And then we're going to use the light Petal Pink Stampin' Blend. We'll color in the ears and the udder and the muzzle. Then I'm going to fussy cut this. There's no dies. You have to fussy cut this. So we'll cut out our cow. She's all ready to go. We'll put a few dimensionals on the back to pop her up. Now let's make the barn door. We're going to use the barn door stamp set, Tuxedo Black ink. We'll stamp our barn door. And then we're going to use the sliding door dies. I'm going to use the rectangle and then the little handle. I'll cut the handle from some basic black cardstock. Okay, to make the belly band, this is the rest of your 12-inch paper. It's 10 inches by 2 inches, and we're going to just firmly bend those corners with our fingers. Put some adhesive on it to form the belly band, and just put that on. And it should just slide. That's the really quick and easy way to make a belly band. This is the polka dotted tool. You don't have to put this. I just think it's cute. We'll tie a little bow. Super quick and easy. Oh, we're almost done. So we'll assemble. I put some adhesive here and here, and then we'll place the barn door. You don't want any adhesive at the top of your barn door because you want to be able to slide that off to reveal the hand cream. and then you just your cow. Isn't that adorable? Thanks so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit like and subscribe. You can find more details about this project on my blog at www.stampingcountry.com. Have a fabulous day.